I'm Brian Winnikins at the 73rd Annual NAFB Convention, and thank you to our broadcast sponsors, including Mycogen Seeds, also BASF, Ashley Gausman, your agent in Northwest Wisconsin, along with Darylyn Equipment Services, also PIP Seeds, and Growth Energy. And joining us is Tom Buis with Growth Energy, and we are going to talk about, well, what everybody's been talking about, the election. It just will not go away. And Tom, good morning, and thank you for joining us first. Were you just as shocked as really a whole bunch of people were on Tuesday night?
Well, I would say I was surprised because all the experts were, and the pollsters and the people doing the analytics had it going the other way. But, I think it's the reason you have elections. Same as in basketball or football, it's the reason you play the games, and that determines the winner. So Donald Trump did a great job of, I think, capturing the angst and the anger out in America, especially rural America. People were upset with Washington and the gridlock and the partisan wrangling, and I think that paid off for him.
You mentioned the rural America, and farmers really put him over the top. I bet you're hoping, and a lot of agriculture groups are hoping that, that he'll have, that the new president's going to have surrounding him someone saying, no, these people put you over the top, you can't ignore them.
Absolutely. And we worked with Mr. Trump in the Iowa and the caucuses. Prior to the Iowa caucus, we had 21 candidates going in there, Brian, only 3 of which had ever made a public statement in support of the RFS and ethanol, and all 3 of those had ran before in Iowa: Huckabee, Santorum, and Clinton. And we had some candidates that were outright antagonists to our industry. So we went out there and worked it really heavy and created this America's Renewable Future to educate these candidates, including Mr. Trump. And he sat down with us and didn't know much about the industry, but he came to find out that it was good and, came out publicly in support of it, as did Mrs. Clinton. That's half the battle. My favorite saying in Washington is hypocrisy is not a sin, it's a fine art. And you got to keep people, keep their feet to the fire and keep working it, because the old adage, devil's in the details, absolutely works. But we're feeling pretty good that he'll stick with us on the RFS.
Talking with Tom Buis with Growth Energy here at the 73rd Annual NAFB Convention. Well, Tom, so as we move forward now, what needs to be done to keep the feet to the fire? Will you start to meet with the members of the transition team, or once a new ag secretary is named, will you start to try to reach out to them right away?
Oh, absolutely. And the wheels are already in motion. I think everyone who is advocating for anything is wanting to reach out to the new president-elect and his team. Our issues are really important at this time, Brian. We're seeing farm income go the opposite direction. We have a huge carryover of all kinds of farm commodities, and corn in particular. It's about 2 billion bushels. And just moving forward to implementing E15 nationwide would eat up 2 billion bushels of corn. So we're part of the answer to the whole farm economy, and we'll be stressing that to the new president and his administration, as well as what it does for the air. We're cleaner, we're cheaper. It's a domestic demand that's always consistent. Exports are great, and we certainly work that angle, but exports are residual as long as the country, until they find something cheaper or grow their own or produce their own. But ethanol has provided consistent demand for corn, which is the big crop in the country.
Interesting times, to say the least. Tom, again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Brian, and congratulations on your presidency. Yeah.
Well, thank you again, and again, thanks to Growth Energy for supporting our broadcasts as well here at the 73rd Annual NAFB Convention. I'm Brian Winnikins on Real Country 1430 WRDN.